So welcome everyone. We're going to start with a couple of yoga props. So I have folded these two blankets and mine are the same blanket. So when they fold, they stack nicely like this, but you could also use a bolster, a yoga bolster as a substitute for that, or a couple of couch cushions or bed pillows. And then you're going to want a block that will be supporting your head that goes behind the blankets. And then I also have a sandbag here. And the sandbag is going to be to support a sense of grounding. It's actually going to go on the thighs once we get into position. So in class today, I'd like to focus on restoring the reservoir of your well-being, restoring that reservoir that we're all tapping into all the time, hoping for our deeper sense of renewal. So we want the two shoulder blades to go on the blanket here. And then the head goes on the block like this. It's helpful if you have another blanket close by that you could cover up with. So you're going to place yourself so that the arms and shoulders are relatively free and the chest and heart are the most supported. If two blankets is too much back bend for the upper back, you can go down to one blanket, of course, and you can make the block lower for your head as well. The sandbag goes across the top of the thighs, like this. Okay, and so that gives you a sense of grounding or rooting from the pelvis down the legs to the heels. And then you can take an additional blanket. And you can cover up maybe the lower body, upper body, or both. And take the arms out into a T shape. Roll your shoulders down towards the floor. If you have an eye pillow, I do recommend that you place that over your eyes. We're going to do a short practice that will require just a little bit of thinking and coordination, and then it's going to take you down into a place of relaxation. So bring awareness to both feet, and as you inhale, squeeze your feet as if you were squeezing your hands into fists. And then exhale, relax your feet and toes. Now inhale, squeeze your feet, your calves, your knees, your thighs, and your hip muscles. Exhale, relax, soften. Let's repeat that again. Inhale, squeeze your toes, your feet, your calves, your knees, your thighs, your butt. And exhale to deeply relax your hips, your legs, your knees, your calves, your heels and toes. Now inhale, squeeze just your hands into fists. And exhale, relax your hands, fingers and thumbs. Inhale, squeeze your hands into fists and squeeze your arms, raise them an inch from the floor. And exhale to relax. Let's do that one again. Inhale, squeeze your hands and your fists and your arms and your shoulders. And exhale to relax. Now we'll do the feet and legs, hands and arms all at once. So inhale. And exhale, allow that to become deeply relaxed. To let go of your arms and legs, hands and feet. Now we're going to repeat that once more, hands and feet, arms and legs. We're going to add the face. So you're going to squeeze your face into your nose like you're going to be a raisin for a few moments. So inhale, hands and feet, arms and legs, and your face. And exhale and relax deeply, deeply relax. And as you're relaxing now, start at your hairline, the top of the forehead, and imagine a deep relaxation going down over the top of your head, the sides of your head, towards the back of your head. And imagine for a few moments that your hair is getting heavier and more relaxed. And it gives your scalp permission to also be relaxed. Relax over your forehead and from the center line of your forehead out over towards your temples. Release the space between your eyebrows and let the eyebrows get heavy with relaxation. Remind yourself that you're consciously resting right now to nourish your reservoir of vitality, and that this is deeply important to your stamina and resilience. Allow your eyelids to get heavy and let them warmly drape over your eyes. Bridge of your nose, relax down the side of your nose over towards your cheeks. And as the cheeks relax, imagine that flowing out towards your ears, and the ears become deeply quiet, listening to the inner silence behind the noise of daily life. Invite your upper lip to relax, or the lower lip to be at ease over your teeth, and for the hinge of the jaw to separate so the lower jaw drops down from your upper jaw. Imagining at the base of the skull where the skull meets the cervical spine, a deep relaxation of any unnecessary tension there. As you release the base of the skull, let that also travel down the sides of your neck and the back of your neck. Travel across the tops of the shoulders, from the base of the neck over to the shoulders themselves. And let's picture the shoulders rolling down towards the floor, releasing the weight of stress or tension that they've been carrying. And imagine your arms getting heavier and warmer, more deeply relaxed. Bring some awareness to the heart. And at the center of the heart, in the chest region, let's invite a quality also of softening. Imagining the heart warmer, more relaxed, a little softer, releasing even any tension between the floating ribs, the space between the ribs, the sternum. So for your neck and shoulders, check and see if it's comfortable to bring the block down one setting lower. So your head will go a little lower and the block will be a little bit wider. And turn your head as far as it comfortably goes to your left. As you turn your head to your left, stretch the right arm just gently to the right. Imagine that you're breathing in from the base of the skull, that's where the brainstem region is, down the right arm out to your right fingertips. And exhale from the base of your skull down the right arm and also out through your fingertips. And exhale, release any tension from the right occipital ridge down to your right thumb. And then roll your head to center. And turn your head to your right. As you're turning to your right, stretch the left arm gently so the distance between the left occipital ridge and your left fingers is expanding. Exhale, deeply relax again the left shoulder from the base of the skull out to your fingers. And then rotate back to center. Now let's take the hands and put the block aside and hold your head with your left hand. You can lay back towards the floor. If the floor is too far away, then what you can do is place something under your hand that's not as thick as the block, but lets your head come down comfortably behind you. And hold the back of your head with your left hand all the way over to your left ear. And turn your head to your right. Reach over with your right hand to your left elbow and give a little opening to the left armpit, shoulder, and chest. And then release your right hand, rotate your head to center, and then keeping your left hand holding your head, turn your head as far to your left as you comfortably can. And raise your right arm overhead towards whatever is behind you. And breathe in deeply. And then exhale, bring your head to center, put your right hand under your head, hold your head across towards your ear. Relax the left arm and rotate your head as far as it comfortably goes to your left. Reach over with your left hand to hold your right elbow. Remind yourself that in the practice of yoga, it's not just the physical position that we're working with. There's also energetic positions, and we have a whole system called the Vayus. And one of those Vayus is called Vyana Vayu. It's the Vayu of the heart. Let's bring the head to center. Take the left arm out to the side. Turn your head as far as it goes to your right. And as you stretch your left arm overhead now towards whatever is behind you, just know that we're opening the space called Vyana Vayu, which is the energy of circulating from the heart outwards to nourish all parts of the body. Open your left arm out to the side, turn your head back to center, and see if your head might reach the floor comfortably without either hand supporting it. And if it's genuinely too far back, we don't need the chin to poke up towards the ceiling. So if it is too far back, don't ask that of yourself. Put a small blanket or a folded washcloth or hand towel under your head so you do have support. Okay, let's reach both arms overhead. Hook your thumbs. Energize your arms and also now your legs. So take a deep breath in from the heart. And exhale from down low in your abdomen. Okay, and let's bend both knees and put both hands behind your head. Okay, roll to your side. You can ask the sandbag to dismount and then roll sideways and come up to sitting or up to kneeling. Now it's possible that your upper back is going to feel warm and alive or have a little bit of a tingle. That is totally within reason. And this blanket you don't need. You can toss it like laundry or you can fold it if you want to. So With these two blankets now, let's reach for the blocks. Block number 1, block number 2. All right, so let's take the 2 blankets or the bolster. It's also fine to keep using your bolster. Take one block either flat like this, it goes on the floor between the knees, and the other block is going to be taller than that one. It's going to be medium like this. Another option is to make the first block medium and the second block tall. And then we take the 2 blankets. The space between those 2 blocks is designed for your forearms. So we're going to come down, and we do want the bolster to be against the abdomen. You want to feel like the blankets or the bolster, they are pressing a little bit into the lower belly. Reach your arms here between the 2 blocks. Oh, hi, Bindi. You opened the door. That's so nice. Nice to see you. Hi, honey. So take the arms under the blanket and let the shoulder blades relax away from the spine. Now, I hope that your neck is flexible enough to turn it to one side or the other comfortably. If you ever find that it's not comfortable to do that, you can take an extra blanket and you put it on just one part of the other blanket so that you can turn your head less far. So that is an option if you need that kind of support. So allow the breath now to come down into the lower belly, and let's picture it like you're breathing into the back waist and the kidneys. We're going to take a deep breath. We'll hold it just for a few moments. And then blow that breath out slowly as if you were blowing through a cocktail straw. Deeply relax the belly. Allow your body to breathe naturally, simply. Notice the influence of having the front body be kind of protected or inward. Place the hands on the floor for support. Lift your head, turn to the other side. If you're using a blanket to help you to make the turn of the head easier, so something like placing it on the side like this and then turning the head, please adjust the blanket as you need to. Hi, Panda. Come on in. Yeah. And then take your arms again underneath the 2 blankets or the bolster. Breathe in deeply through the nose. We'll hold the breath just once.
And then we're going to blow out like we're blowing the breath out like a tiny cocktail straw. Blow all the way to the end. Encourage the back of the heart to deeply relax. It's again how it is to have even gentle support across the abdomen when the body feels more inward, more protected. Place your hands on the floor and give yourself a little support to rise back up to kneeling. We can put our blocks and blankets aside for the moment. So one of the things that I find is common in the world, but also very common in Hunger, Hope, and Healing, is that we do have this reservoir of vitality. We have this certain allotment of energy or fuel, and sometimes we misspend it, or we don't protect it or preserve it on behalf of ourselves, or we spend it, hoping that after that we're going to renew it for ourselves, but one more thing comes up. And then we're more depleted there when that last thing comes, but we dig deep into some other reserves and we try to apply it to life. So the word reservoir and the word reserves, they're kind of related. In yoga and Chinese medicine, they're not recommending that we tap into those reserves on a regular basis, that we actually save those for the genuine emergencies of life. We're also recommending in yoga that we're not draining that reservoir, that we're keeping that reservoir protected and nourished. And so where would we live from? If it's not the reserves and it's not the reservoir, it's from the prana of daily life, what we take in, food and nourishment, nature, beauty, the breath, the practices, so that the prana that we generate today is what we spend today. We have our reservoir for when life is asking for a little bit of a lift. We have those deep reserves for when there's actually an emergency. So just to clarify that, and you can ask in the next couple poses, how might you protect your reservoir more often so it doesn't have all these leaks going hither and thither, potentially to the needs of others, or the way that our mind goes to the conflict with other, or the judgment about other, or the expectations of others. How can we protect this reservoir? Let me put these blankets aside. This one is still extra. You can treat it like laundry, or you can fold it neatly. And please put 2 blocks like this under your hands. Okay, with the spine here, let's come into, it's called extension. So come into cow pose, lift your sitting bones, bring the heart forward, open your throat, and lift the chin as far as it's comfortably supported by your neck. And then inhale, press down into both arms, curl your chin in towards your throat, and broaden the back of your body. Exhale, reach back towards child's pose. Inhale, curl up into child's pose, into cat pose, excuse me. And exhale, glide your sitting bones up. Pubic bone back, bring your chest and your heart forward, open your throat, stretch the chin. And again, inhale to the cat pose, feel every part of your spine moving. Exhale to child's pose.
Squeeze the breath out. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, glide the spine through to cow pose. Stretch the chin forward. And then come into table pose itself. And just make sure that the blocks are both stable. Curl your toes under, reach your hips high, and stretch backwards into downward facing dog pose. And ask yourself, even in downward dog pose, how much energy is required and in what way? So we don't overspend energy in downward dog pose. We are renewing the energy that we need for the mind and the body and for our hearts and our healing. And then walk your feet towards your hands and walk your hands towards your feet using the blocks or not, it's optional. And come into the pose called Uttanasana. Energize your legs, release your torso, your head, even your hair. You can relax your hair. And then raise your hands up to your hips, root down from your hips to your heels, and rise up to standing. Okay, and as you come up, let's take a wide stance now. It's like a pyramid shape, right? So your feet are as wide as the length of one leg, making an equilateral triangle or like a pyramid. Come over and down to this pose. We call it Prasara to Paratanasana. Let's put the two blocks out in front to stretch and open the shoulders, the chest, and the heart. So you walk the blocks forward, place your hands out over those blocks, reach your hips back, open the sides of the waist, and let's picture on the inhalation, drawing energy into your reservoir from your hands, from your feet, towards the center of the pelvis, the center of your torso. And on the exhale, deeply relax your mind, your upper back and heart. And then inhale to draw energy in again from your toes and your fingers, up your legs, up your arms, to the center of your body, as if you were restoring the reservoir of your energy, the field of your energy. Now please walk your hands with your blocks back towards your feet. Press down through your heels and rise up to standing. Okay, let's take the heels, toes, come into mountain pose. And check and see if you were to imagine yourself as a reservoir, is there a good boundary? Do you feel like there's a good sense of your particular reservoir, that it's yours? Other people have their own, and you're not taking something from them to have yours, and you're not going to go draft off of their reservoir right now either. Just getting a sense of that inside. Now, take a stance. We call this the jazz dance warm-up pose. Come down. Your feet can be a little bit wider. Maybe the width we just had, the more tiny bit more. Bend the knees. Press your hands out against the knees. Straighten your arms. Lengthen the back of your neck. You can gaze down on the floor in front of you. So as you come down to this position, stretch the inner thighs actively. Root your tailbone down towards the floor and ask if there's any place in your pose where you feel like the energy leaks, like leaking through a garden hose, if there were holes in the side of the garden hose. Is there any place in the pose where you feel like your reservoir gets drained? And then exhale and turn your left fingers in and down against your left knee and twist to your right, please. And ask the same question, how are you protecting or preserving this inner reservoir? Or are there places in the physical pose where you sense it gets depleted? And then rotate to center, turn your right fingers in, turn your left fingers out, and twist to your left. And when you're twisting to your left like this, keep the spine centered. So the rotation is when the spine is centered, both arms are straight and strong. And then return to center and press down into both heels. Please rise up to standing. And we're going to go heel toe again. Come into mountain pose. And as you stand, picture your reservoir, which belongs to you. Other people have their own. You're tending to yours right now. All we're going to do is take a wide stance. Follow me here. You're going to be coming down. We'll make a turn to the right. So let's take both blocks, turn to your right. So when you come down, the block should be the height that you need them to be. This is a pose we call Vauchanasana. Place your hands on your blocks. Make them taller if you need to. Energize your left leg so that the heel is grounded and the left foot is strong. You may even feel your left calf muscle stretching right now. Now you can decide based on the flexibility and strength of your body, if you'd like to walk the two blocks forward while keeping your left leg grounded. Relax the weight of your head. Keeping the left leg strong, we can imagine that the right leg is also strong, but the torso gets to act a little bit more like a waterfall or a cascade. Let's breathe in from the feet, up the legs, into the center of the pelvis, like you're renewing your personal reservoir. And when you exhale, imagine releasing any stress or tension, anything that's ready to go kind of downstream. And then walk your hands back towards your foot. Okay, while we're down here, let's make the pivot down low. So turn your right foot in, turn the left foot out, walk the blocks around to the other side, press into your right heel, make the calf muscle a little longer, press into your right toes. Let's also keep the left leg strong and stable and decide based on your flexibility and the breathability of your pose if you'd like to walk your blocks forward.
And picture again, the inhale energizes from your feet up your legs into your pelvis, the center of the torso. And then as you exhale, relaxing any unnecessary tension, imagine that flowing down through the waterfall or the cascade of the torso and moving out beyond your arms, your hands, and your fingers. And then let's walk the hands back. And while we're down low, we'll come to center. And shift your hands to your hips, please. And rise up to standing. And let's do the heel toe thing one more time. Heel toe. Come into center. And when you get to mountain pose, imagine again this reservoir that is yours.
Then we're going to come down next to the wall so that we're going to do legs at the wall pose for Shavasana, but I'd like to do a little hip stretch before that. And if we start right at the wall, the hip stretch for some of you is going to be too strong. So what we're going to do is start a short distance from the wall. Let's bring the two blocks close enough to use for legs at the wall pose. They're going to be nearby. Your two blankets should be able to be like brought on the set, as it were, just when you need them. So we'll place them to the side like this. And then roll onto your back so that you are, again, a short distance from the wall. Maybe you're about the same distance from the wall as your shin, so that your feet go up on the wall and you're a shin's distance. And then cross your right ankle over your left knee. And press the right knee gently open away from your chest. If this stretch is kind of mild for you, going closer to the wall will make it more juicy. If the stretch is very intense for you, backing away from the wall will make it less intense. So check and see to what extent it's breathable for you. And you could imagine during the inhale that you're still nourishing that internal reservoir, the ojas, the vitality, the vibrancy that is you. And on the exhale, releasing whatever tension you've acquired in the day. And let's place the right foot back up on the wall. Cross your left ankle over your right knee. Press the left knee open. And as you're breathing in and breathing out here again, you can go closer, you can back up. We want the pose to feel breathable and nourishing.
And then let's release the left foot back to the wall. Now, sometimes it's unclear to people, how do you get then into this legs at the wall pose when you're not right at the wall here? So one option is to roll to your side, bring the two blankets in, place them really close to the baseboard. They don't have to touch right at the baseboard, but they're pretty close to the baseboard. And then put your hips on the blankets and roll back into position. And take your legs straight up the wall. Other options are to improvise, to find your way, like squirreling your way into the wall, and then put the blankets, or, find your own method and be playful about it. But once you do find yourself in position, then imagine now this reservoir being restored as Viparita Karani, legs at the wall pose, is known to do that restoration for us. Deeply relax your eyes once again. Imagine that even your hair is getting heavier, more relaxed. Invite your forehead to be smooth, free from the worries and the hurries. And at the center of your reservoir, a deep renewal has already been underway. And still the reservoir is being renewed. Relax your mind and your eyes, your senses, and your thoughts. Self the gift of this deep renewal. Don't let the mind wander away. Allowing for that deep renewal, the mind being quiet and inward. Gift yourself again with the fullness of relaxation. You're allowing that restoration. And start to consider in your own relationship to your vitality. What is one place you might become more thoughtful or more careful, where you might spend a little bit less and save a bit more for yourself? One place in life where you could consider that. You can lightly wiggle your toes and your fingers. Bend your knees and slide your feet down the wall. Roll to your side thoughtfully. And then come up to take a seat for a minute in your renewed reservoir state. When you come upright, just ask yourself again, is there a place that you can identify where maybe sometimes you overspend your vitality, you give it away to somebody else? And in this place, in your mind and heart, could you imagine keeping that for yourself? And then please bring your hands together at your heart and appreciate yourself for giving the time for the practice and the consideration for how you're going to now take care of this reservoir. Thank you, everyone. Namaste. Well, hello. How's your vitality? Pretty good. You're not even a year old yet. I hope you have all your vitality in there. Oh, hi, honey.
Yes, thank you so much for being here, you guys. And may our reservoirs stay full and nurtured and cared for. May we feel our kitten selves returning. Mhm. There you go. I'll just turn off the recording so we can be together.